My parents grew up in Jordan in the Middle East, and my father immigrated here for college when he was 17 years old, went to the University of Delaware, and tells the story of a pivotal moment when he knew that America would be his home, when he got on a bus and went to DC and heard a speech by a gentleman named Dr. King, and it was the I Have a Dream speech. And he just remembers how profound that moment was for him and what it represented for him as an immigrant to this country. And then at the age of 2, after I was born here, we moved back to the Middle East so I could go to an international school there while my father worked. Where we grew up in the Middle East was not Jordan, and it was a culture that was far less tolerant. And so when I was 13 years old, my parents moved back to the United States. I will never forget my 9th grade teacher, Mr. Kadal, pulling me aside at the end of the year, and he said, "I need you to take honors English." And it completely changed the trajectory of my life. But it was between my junior and senior year in college that I went with a group called Urban City Ministries to inner city San Jose and worked for a summer with students who were underserved and underprivileged in a neighborhood as a summer school teacher. And I'll never forget seeing kids come to school in the same clothing. And I remember the first question that some of them would ask is, "When is snack?" And it didn't click for me. I came from a place of privilege. And so I asked the lady who coordinated the program, "Can you tell me a little bit about what's going on here?" And what she told me was that sometimes the snack that we give them is the only meal they get. And some of them are wearing the same clothes because those are the best clothes that they have. And their parents aren't gonna send them to school in anything less. And I think what I felt in that moment was a bubble burst, a bubble that sheltered me from the reality of the world around me. I never had to struggle in the way that these students had to struggle, but what was fantastic was that they weren't victims of their situation. They chose to get up and come to school. And so every day that they showed up was a testament to courage, and it was my responsibility to rise up to the call that they were calling me to. It was my responsibility to show up that day with my best because they showed up with their best.
Go deeper into it.
Excellent. Can you think of a question that might get him deeper? Like if you I believe that education is the bedrock of democracy. Educators play a very vital role in being ambassadors for the American dream because their job is to unlock possibilities for students, to help them see worlds that they hadn't seen, to ask them questions they hadn't been asked, to find the gifts that the students have to offer, and then find a place for those gifts to manifest. Every child deserves a phenomenal education, and they can't afford for me to give up on them, even when they give up on themselves. I want every child to believe that the American dream is possible for them.